Yo, what's going on, guys? We are here today at Phoenix Raceway in Avondale, Arizona, where Round 2 is going to take place for Season 3 of the Speed Racing Series presented by Middle Road Energy. As you recall, the Daytona 250 was certainly a thrilling one, as Zachary Fitzwater was the winner of that race by literally a hair over Vince Freeze, making it a Rambler Racing 1-2. As a result, the Australian enters this race weekend as your points leader. Even though he'll be starting from 21st, he's got a lot of momentum on his side. On the pole today is your reigning champion Charles Sanford, right next to home state hero RJ Bishop in the 38. Sanford DNF'd out at Daytona, so that'd be something he'll look to avenge. Anyway, we got ourselves a race to start. Cars are about to pull off pit road. Round number 2 begins now at Phoenix. As the field leaves pit road, you see the color orange is getting well represented at the front of the field, with your front row of Sanford, Bishop, and fourth place starter Joseph Strigley. And for RJ Bishop, this race is especially important to him. He definitely doesn't want to let his local fans down today. He wants to bring them home a checkered flag. And in addition, we've got 2 series debutants in this race here. You got the 44 of Benedict Murdo, as well as the 41 of Shane Sides. So welcome to the SRS to both those drivers. Pace car ducks for pit road. It's already hot enough for these Arizona fans in the grandstands. Which one of these drivers will do their best to keep their cool? Across the line they go, and we are green flag racing here in the desert. Sanford takes command at the end of lap 1. Look at Aiden Smith in the 89. Getting a little competitive and fierce. He takes position number 2 with their 3 wide behind him. Strigley, the meat and the Rambler sandwich. Vince Freeze to the inside. RJ Bishop to the outside. Strigley doing his best to try and hold his own against the Dodgers beside him. Freeze is going to get loose out of 4. He'll yield to the 11. And how about Aiden Smith? He didn't really have the ideal Daytona speed weeks that he wanted to. He did finish 18th, but overall he never really had a lot of speed out there. And with his 3rd place qualifying effort, he really surprised a lot of people. And he's definitely feeling better about his chances at a good run this afternoon. But he'll likely lose position number 2 to Strigley. He's got a strong car. Strigley looking right there to join his teammate leading this race. There's his 3rd teammate right there, the Gamebridge Chevy of James Ellison, the 61, who was the only JSR car to not crash at Daytona. He ended up blowing up instead. A rough Daytona for the whole Joseph Strigley racing team, but today they want to put all that behind them. 3 out of those 4 guys in the top 10. And your defending winner of this race, there's Yoshiko Sakamoto. She also had a miserable qualifying effort. She's still stuck all the way back here in 23rd. Looking to attack the 65 and the 24. Going to go 3 wide to the 2 of those guys. But give it time, maybe Sakamoto as well as the 54 of Luke Martin. They still got strong cars overall, so maybe give it a little bit of time. They may be fighting for the lead as well. Still got a long way to go. And on the scoreboard, you see the 11 has passed the 16. Strigley on lap 6 is your new leader at Phoenix. It'll be a matter of what Sanford can do. He's going to peek his nose to the inside of his teammate and boss. But Strigley's going to get the power off of corner number 4. And on lap 7 now, your top 3 is Strigley, Sanford, and Smith. Sanford again down to the inside of Joseph Strigley down the backstretch. These 2 guys looking to run away from the field as quickly as they can, but I don't think this is the ideal way to do it. They shouldn't be battling each other this hard. RJ Bishop lurking just behind him. The 16 retook the lead that time. But if these 2 want to get away, one of them has to decide who's going to lead this thing and who's going to follow. Just run their own lines and let everyone else eat their dust. But still, the whole JSR team came prepared for this race weekend. And as you see, that 11 going to get the run on the outside line, which is showing on that coming out of turn 4, that is the place to be. If you're on the outside line out of turn 4, you'll have a good run to probably not get past. And if you're going to try and make a pass in 3 and 4, good luck to you, because it's going to be a tough task to do. As Sanford goes to the inside again. And I think my point's going to be proven again. Yeah, Strigley, he'll still pull away from Sanford just a little bit. But the 11 and the 16 still side by side, as RJ Bishop is now going to draw in. Oh, hang on, there's trouble. The 10 of Kyle Rigger and the 17 of Nathan Orman both go for a spin down the backstretch. And thankfully, no one else is going to get collected. Everyone else gets away fine. But there goes the pace car onto the track. And on lap 13, Joseph Strigley is going to retain the lead at the yellow. So here's Rigger in the 10 and Orman in the 17. They were both fighting for 34th. And Orman is going to be the one that gets into the 10, and the 5 gets into the 17. And around they both go. A pretty simple deal, but thankfully that's all there was to it. No damage suffered, and they'll still get to keep racing. This yellow came out a bit earlier than most teams would have wanted to, but nonetheless, still a great chance for these tires to get fresh rubber back on their cars. And out of pit road, Charles Sanford's team doing the best job, as he is going to retake the lead from the 11 of Strigley. Thankfully, we don't have any retirees from the race after that incident. Your top 5, Sanford, Strigley, Freeze, Noah Hart, and RJ Bishop. There they speed to the line, and we're back to racing on lap 17. Oh, the 11 and the 16 touched for a second right there. Did you see that? The 11 just nipped the right rear of the 16 as they were getting onto the backstretch. But now Vince Freeze in the 21. He wants to maybe taste the lead for himself as well. On this lap, he's not going to be able to. He's going to let Sanford enjoy his time out in the lead, at least for another lap. He's got Joseph Strigley to deal with. And oh my gosh, they're 4 wide. They were for a second. You can't deny it. That was in the camera shot. But Cody Lamas, he's going to get up into the top 5 in the 48 car. Your Duel 2 winner from last week at Daytona. Noah Hart in the green 18 and 6th. You got the 50 of Scott Roush, your Middle Road Energy Shootout winner. And also James Ellison behind him. And don't forget, those two got together on lap 19 of Daytona and set off that really big crash in the 250. Hopefully they put their differences behind them. Then again, we can only hope they have. So far, Roush is ahead of that 61. And there's your 250 winner, Zachary Fitzwater. He's now made his way up into 10th place after starting all the way in 21st. So he has risen quite a lot with getting into the top 10 from where he started. He's up to 9th now, looking to challenge Ellison for another position. Bishop trying to get around Joseph Strigley, but so far no one is touching Sanford in that 16. He still continues to show the way. Guess who's made her way into the top 10? It's your defending Phoenix winner, Yoshiko Sakamoto. She's now going by the 18 of Noah Hart to take over position number 9. A super impressive drive by Sakamoto as she started way deep in the field in 23rd today. And just like Zachary Fitzwater ahead of her, who also had an unsatisfactory qualifying effort, they've both risen to the occasion very well. And Sakamoto, she's now going to be the 3rd scored JSR car in this race. She's going to pass the 61 of Ellison with ease. And now attacks Scott Roush for position number 7. That 66 is rolling. Now Noah Hart's 10th place position is under attack. The 15 of Zachary DeLello wants to take it. And he's going to sail that Aaron's Toyota down to the bottom of Hart in 3. And it looks like DeLello is going to zoom on by, move Zachary DeLello up into the top 10. And that is something that he has been itching to have for quite a while, because DeLello still has not gotten a single top 10 finish since Darlington of last season, which has been, I believe, over 13 races. So that's a noteworthy thing that DeLello wants to check off his list. And there's that 3 wide action ahead of him. Look at Sakamoto go underneath the Rambler duo of Fitzwater and Freeze. Look at her enter the picture. I tell you, this 66 is going to have something for Sanford in the lead sometime soon. But of course, the 21, the 7, the 11, and the 38, they're all tough competitors. They will have to make her work for it if she wants to keep advancing her way up. Man, that strength that 66 has, as they nearly go 4 wide ahead of him. Sakamoto 3 wide, down underneath Strigley and Fitzwater for third. That 66 Chevy still continuing to rise up through the running order. She's gotten by Joseph Strigley for third. Now she's going to set her eyes on RJ Bishop for P2. And she'll try to deny the home state hero a chance to contend against Charles Sanford for the race lead. Her car is hooked up super well. You can just see it, how smoothly her car operates on the bottom of the racetrack. And she's not really losing momentum on the inside of turn 4 like most other drivers are. And out of turn 2, looks like Bishop is going to yield to Sakamoto. So now it's Sakamoto's turn to reel in Charles Sanford for the lead. How fast will she get there? Well, Charles, I think your time in the lead might be up soon, because Sakamoto, she's sailing down onto the bottom of the track underneath Sanford. Is she going to nip that 16 at the line? And she is going to. Sakamoto leads her first lap of the race at the end of lap 40. But what is Zachary Fitzwater going to do? He's also here in the mix. Fitzwater eyeing back-to-back victories. Of course, winning the 250 was already a magnificent start to the season in itself. But man, what would that mean if Fitzy is able to get 2 straight wins to start the season? That would be quite the headline among the series. And with Fitzwater up in the second, he'll wait for an opportunity to get away from Sakamoto. Meanwhile, Sanford, he's in jeopardy of losing third to RJ Bishop. I mean, he does have the help of his teammates of Strigley and Ellison behind him. And there goes Bishop on past Sanford. So now it's Bishop and Fitzwater. Maybe they can try and come up with a plan to dethrone the lead away from that 66. Well, finally showing up in the top 10 today is your Season 1 champ, Luke Martin. 47 laps in, he's slid up into 10th place. He took that spot away from Logan Cloud and Zachary DeLello behind him. So well done by Martin, rising up through the field as steadily as he can and just being patient. He still has over 100 laps to go. He'll have plenty of time to get up to the front, challenge for the victory. Anyway, there is Logan Cloud in the 20. Right now, he's running behind his rookie teammate, Cody Lamas. So both these Martin Motorsports rookies doing a superb job so far. There's Zachary DeLello hanging on at 12th. Noah Hart and DJ Curtis completing the flurry of Martin cars, running around 10th place. Behind him, here's rookie Aaron Jordan making career start number 2. Start number 1 at Daytona didn't go so well. He got crashed out early and finished 40th. So Aaron Jordan definitely hoping for a rebound today. Same with Dylan Young, who exited Daytona in embarrassing fashion, crashing into Joseph Strigley under yellow. He's in contention for a top 15. Here's your third place starter, Aiden Smith. He's dropped a little bit down to 17th right now. His car fading. The longer this green flag run is going. And then the S3 trio of Harrison Riley, Anthony McClure, and Zayden Davidson also here, but Davidson is going to lose out on a top 20 position to the 00 Nick Breeding. Behind that duo, right outside the top 20, here's Ryan Griffin and Major Robinson engaging in battle. Your 4th place finisher at Daytona, Jacob Holtz in the 03 and 24th. Clocking in at 25th, Lane Sanders with new colors on his number 86 Ford Fusion. Behind him, rookie Brantley Gage, also making career start number 2. Christian Vargas behind him. Then Shade Eads, Sean Ard, and Jesse Turner completing the top 30. Louis Dubois tracking behind those guys in 31st, followed by Angel Gutierrez. Kyle Rigger, after going for a spin earlier, makes the pass on Austin Rogers for 33rd. 35th is Roberto Crown Jr., then Nathan Orman, Dylan Schwallenberg. Running 38th is the second series debut today, Shane Sides, hailing from the state of Texas. That's where he's running right now. Saber Fox 39th, then Neil Cook, Cody Goforth and Benedict Murdo completing the field. Sakamoto's had the lead for quite some time, but Charles Sanford's giving her a challenge. Down on the inside of her, exiting 2. And the curious question I'm asking is, what the heck is Fitzwater and Ellison going to do? Watching this battle unfold right in front of him, Sanford's peeking ahead through turn 4. He's got enough of an edge to lead this lap. Yes, he will. Sanford is going to lead a lap again and take it away from Sakamoto. But he's not able to shake her. He's not able to clear that 66. Because right through here, this portion of the track, you got to clear her right there and come up on her if you want to seal the lead. But right there, he's not able to do it. Here comes that 66 storming on by the outside. And these two teammates, looks like they're going to be trading the lead back and forth lap after lap. Even right there, Sanford, he's not able to break free from the 66 and not able to escape her. Yeah, see right there, if he could just come up and clear the 66, then the lead would fully be his. But Sakamoto's putting up quite the fight. Well, this ought to be intriguing. We get to throw a lap car into the equation. Here's the 44, Benedict Murdo, the first timer from Germany, right ahead of Sakamoto. She's going to get to the inside of him pretty easily. A very good move on Murdo's part, racing the leaders with courtesy and respect. That'll go a long way in his career. Should he qualify for more races, get to make more starts, he'll learn the ropes of the series, and that was a very respectable thing he just did, but not to Zachary Fitzwater, of course. He hates when he has to deal with lap cars like this. Definitely not a happy camper stuck behind that 44. But them two are clear again. The 16 going down to the inside again, still trying to wrestle the lead away from Sakamoto. And more lap traffic. The 5 of Cody Goforth and the 71 of Neil Cook. Battling for 40th, as you see. It looks like they're going to catch him a lot sooner than I thought. And whoever's on the inside of the 5 is probably the one who's going to take this lead for good. And don't look now, here comes the 61 of Ellison. I told you folks, the more that the 66 and the 16 battle side by side, it would bring other drivers into the fray. So he's in 3rd. And Goforth is going to give way to the 66. And then Neil Cook, whenever she gets up to him, which will be this turn. And Cook is going to remain up high as well. So I like how these lap cars are racing these leaders with a lot of courtesy. Ellison in the 61 getting a little bit impatient. He knows he's got a car that's worthy of challenging Sakamoto for the lead. Now he's going to try and pass his teammate of Sanford. As we finish lap 69, Ellison, he's been riding around this race pretty patiently. He did start in 8th. He's been around the top 10 most of the day. But as this green flag run continues, his car is showing great signs of life here. And Ellison definitely wanting to turn that bad luck around that he had at Daytona. He had a top 5 car and blew an engine just 20 laps into the race. And through turns 1 and 2, Sanford's not going to put much up of a fight. Ellison now goes up into 2nd. Oh, look out, down in turn 3. 3 cars go spinning into the wall. The 44 of Murdo, the 35 of Davidson, and the 89 of Aiden Smith. And as you see, the caution lights are flickering yellow against the fence. And what a bad break that is for Benedict Murdo. He's not going to have a clean first start anymore aboard his number 44. A lot of damage on that Pep Boys Toyota. Anyway, at the race's halfway point, the pace is going to be slowed down again here at Phoenix. Sakamoto still scored as your leader as she'll catch up to the pace car. Just a handful of laps ago, I was giving props to Murdo for having a clean debut, but he has not at fault for this incident. Behind him, there goes Aiden Davidson, and he's just going to right rear Aiden Smith as they head down into the corner. And they sweep up Benedict Murdo in the process. He was completely innocent there. Same with Aiden Smith in that 89. I don't really know what prompted Davidson to turn Smith to the right like that. Definitely an incident that could have been avoided, and now instead all three of these cars got significant damage. Second round of pit stops on lap 77. I'd say it's right outside these guys' fuel window. I don't believe they're going to be comfortable to fully make it to the end this long on fuel. But racing off pit road, it's going to be a JSR 1-2-3 with Sakamoto, Sanford, and Ellison. About to turn this field loose again here in the desert. Getting the courtesy pass under this caution was the 71 Neil Cook. Will now have 40 cars on the lead lap. Still no retirees. But Sakamoto is your control car. Let's see how well she fires up. Back to green on lap 80. Sakamoto getting plenty of assistance from James Ellison behind her. She's able to lead yet another lap. And she is looking to be the Phoenix Queen here this afternoon, getting back-to-back wins here at this track. Still have plenty of distance to go here in this race, though. Never say never. Anything can still happen. JSR still 1-2-3 with Samper in third. And how about Joseph Srigley up in fifth, going for fourth on Scott Roush. I know for a fact he restarted outside the top 5. I want to say like 8th or 9th. But he's really charging up here pretty good, is Joseph Srigley, the Canadian. Scott Roush trying to keep Rambler up here in the 4th position, but I think the 11 may get the best of him right here. Sanford making an attempt for second on Ellison. And you see that 66 continuing to sail away from all these guys. And 3 wide, here goes Joseph Srigley underneath Sanford and Roush. He'll take matters into his own hands here and make his own luck happen. Srigley, your one-time series winner, getting his first win at Michigan a season ago. Looking to get a second one in the bank, and wow, he got close to touching the left rear of the 61. But what does RJ Bishop, Zachary Fitzwater, and Vince Freese think of seeing all this happen in front of them? They're going to do their best to help their teammate Roush, but I don't think they simply have what it takes for those 4 JSR Chevys. They are now 1, 2, 3, 4 here at Phoenix as the 11 is going to slide on by. Well, we missed this as it happened live, but as the field was coming to the line to take the restart, the 24 Harrison Riley had a flat tire on board his Chevy. And unfortunately, he had to come down pit road as the field was getting up to full speed to get that tire changed. And there goes his pit crew jacking the right side of his car up. So that flat tire must have happened on the right side of his machine. And down and away he goes, but sadly that is going to cost him a lap. Joseph Srigley getting closer to Yoshiko Sakamoto. Here he is saying, hey, check out these apples. I want to take the lead. And he's certainly going to try to, going through 3 and 4. Having that clean air is mighty important, and Joseph Srigley wants to have a taste of it, but Sakamoto's still going to try and defend. She's going to remain on the outside, going through 1 and 2. Oh, the caution has come back out. Down the front straightaway, the 83 of Dylan Schwellenberg. Oh, and Nathan Ormond was also involved in the 17. That's too bad for the Krispy Kreme driver, Nathan Ormond. A whole bunch of smoke coming out from the underside of his Dodge. And Dylan Schwellenberg also with damage. He crashed into the wall too, but pace car comes out today for the 3rd time here on lap 89. So here you see Nathan Ormond. He was in a battle with the 43 of Austin Rogers for 31st place. He's going to tap the right rear of Rogers' car, and out of turn 4 he taps him again, but Schwellenberg is there, and he gets hooked hard into the inside wall down the front straightaway. Schwellenberg in that Red Bull machine, he was lucky to not have his car get more torn up. But a super unfortunate way for Nathan Ormond to fall out of this race. He did post a very good 17th place finish in the Daytona 250, But now here at Phoenix, the magic of that run is going to be all for naught. We are now at lap 90. Most of the field has come down pit road right here. But as you see on your screen, a few cars have elected to stay out. Noah Hart and Cody Lamas being among them. Very interesting strategy play right there by those guys. But out of the pits first, with a great fuel-only stop, Joseph Strigley is going to lead them off. The lineup for this lap 93 restart is going to be, as Elvis would say, all shook up. The cars of Noah Hart, Cody Lamas, Aaron Jordan, Jacob Pujols, Ryan Griffin, and Dylan Young. Their teams are letting them stay on the track. They're going to take the gamble and hopefully stretch their fuel all the way to the finish without having to pit anymore. Courtesy pass is given to the 24 Harrison Riley. But what can these guys do against everyone else that pitted behind them? We are racing once again. Oh, a little contact between the two teammates. In the lead, Hart and Lamas. What's the 12 of Aaron Jordan going to do that he's lurking behind Noah Hart? He's going to choose to push him ahead through the corner. Maybe try and get ahead of the 48 while he can. Aaron Jordan up into second. Noah Hart, he'll lead consecutive laps here on this restart. Noah Hart, your Richmond winner from a season ago. This is about the same type of length track that he won with at Richmond. So hopefully Hart, if his fuel can go all the way, he'll strike plenty of fortune this afternoon and he can win. Still plenty of distance to go. Wow, look at this hornet's nest full of race cars. Griffin and Young put up high by R.J. Bishop. Strigley and Ellison also put up high by Scott Roush. So far that 38, the furthest forward of everyone that pitted. Can't remember if he took tires or not, but I know the 11 just took fuel only as he brushes up into the side of Dylan Young. And also Yoshiko Sakamoto, who was your leader at the yellow. Here she is all the way back in 22nd. I want to say she took 4 tires and fuel, while most of the guys ahead of her just pitted for fuel only. So she has a much tougher battle ahead of her. Going by Christian Vargas underneath. There's Strigley trying to track down Bishop. But the 03, the 12, the 48, and the 18, they're all holding their own the best. The 12 of Aaron Jordan looking to make a move on the 48 of Lamas. Going through 3, he's got Jacob Pujols helping him. Meanwhile, R.J. Bishop up high helping Lamas. You got 3 Rookie of the Year contenders in this shot right here. Lamas, Jordan, and Pujols. You got R.J. Bishop, the 3-season veteran. Noah Hart, this is his sophomore season in the SRS. Bishop going to trust that outside line to get him going forward. As mentioned before, he is the highest running of all the cars that pitted under that last yellow on lap 90. And he's going to take third away from Aaron Jordan. Now he's got Cody Lamas to get rid of. He's going to zoom up through the middle right there. Joseph Strigley, he's going to try and tag along. There's Charles Sanford. He's broke free of all the congestion behind him. There's Dylan Young under fire from Zachary Fitzwater in the 15. And then Scott Roush holds the 10th position while James Ellison in the 61 hopes to take it. Meanwhile, here's Ryan Griffin in the 25, who has fallen outside the top 10 after restarting 6th. Unfortunately, he hasn't had any good luck trying to defend all of the oncoming attackers behind him. Right now, he's in the clutches of Vince Freeze, DJ Curtis, and Yoshiko Sakamoto, who is making her way forward again. Crossing the line at 18th the last time by, but she's had a good car all day. And right there up to 15th now, so she's gained quite a lot of position since the restart. Oh, DJ Curtis and Ryan Griffin with a little contact. They trade a little paint on the backstretch. But as Sakamoto continues to rise, Ryan Griffin continues to fall. Bishop has gotten around the 48 and the 12. Now he has one car left to tackle, the 18 of Hart. A real strong rise by Bishop. As I mentioned before the race went green, this is his home race. He'd love to get by this 18 as fast as possible and pull away, but Hart Going to use the strength of the outside line, keep him at bay, at least for another lap or two. Still, Bishop is going to do his best to keep attacking hard on the inside, with hopes that he'll eventually give way and that 38 can go on by to the lead. Brantley Gage with the problem in the 65. He's slowing down heavily, and he's going to get plowed into by Gutierrez and Turner. They both collide with the 65. Everybody jamming up in turn 2. Wow, look at that. Gage has to have a tire going down on that 65. Look at him weave back and forth everywhere. Oh, no, don't come down in front of these guys, Brantley. The 71, the 78, and the 83 all go up high. But the 94 and the 3 were not as fortunate. Look at how much damage they have on their cars. And Gutierrez is actually going to park his car for the day. Out of the race goes Gutierrez. Turner's team going to work on that Exide Batteries ride. Try and get him back in the race. But there was little that he and Gutierrez can do. They really had nowhere to go when the 65 slowed down directly in front of them. And away goes Turner. His team sends him away without a hood. A bad break for him and Gutierrez. As we come back from that, Bishop has gotten side by side with Noah Hart for the race lead. And he's going to clear the 18 as they get out of turn 2. And you can just hear the grandstands erupt with applause as their home state guy goes into P1. And that'll be the perfect way for Bishop to redeem himself from how last season's race went here when he blew an engine while running second. That'd be an awesome way for him to get redemption by breaking into victory lane for his 3rd career win potentially. Hart down to second. He's got Charles Sanford to deal with now in the 16. And Sanford's going to scare Noah Hart a little bit. He's going to get him a little bit air loose, and down to the inside he goes for second. Lamas in 4th, then Aaron Jordan and Jacob Beholtz. These guys are doing pretty good considering that they have about 10 to 12 lap older tires than everyone else does. Still doing fairly good right there. And here's Sakamoto back into the top 10 after restarting in the 20s. Looking to take over position number 7. Now your leaders have caught the wounded number 94 of Turner. Bishop wisely going to choose the low side to get around him. Turner going to be friendly to these guys, let them have their space, and let them keep engaging in their fight for the lead. Sanford has passed the 18 of Hart for second, and up in the 4th place goes Sakamoto. One of the strongest cars here. She's led plenty of laps. Same thing with Sanford, your pole sitter. And now to the inside of Bishop. These guys started on the front row, and with 30 to go, they're still 1-2. Kind of funny how things come full circle like that. And Bishop really isn't going to put up much of a challenge to Sanford. Sanford is going to clear Bishop and fully occupy the lead again. Bishop trying to do the crossover, but I think Sanford's car is just a bit too strong for that 38. And Noah Hart's thinking the same thing. If I were him, I'd probably just let the 66 go on by, so I would let them 3 fight amongst the lead. You see Bishop trying to go for an inside move, but that outside line of turn 4, definitely the place to be in order for a car like Sanford's to keep the lead. It definitely wouldn't surprise me, 20, 25 laps from now that these would be the 3 cars fighting for the win. Sanford not really having enough strength down the backstretch, and Bishop, if he could just slide up in front of Sanford, the lead will be Bishop's again, and yes, it will. Bishop back to the point. Sanford going to try again on the inside of Bishop to take over P1. The front 4 side by side. You got Noah Hart slinging it in there on Sakamoto and even Bishop. He's going to try and boldly go for a 2-for-1, or at least try to. The move will not work. Sanford gets away by a few car lengths. And Bishop, it's important for him to stay calm, be balanced, and not let his emotions get away from him. He's still got 25 laps to seal this deal and maybe get the best of Sanford and put up a fight with him. Just give it a bit more time and maybe he can let the 66 on by. Maybe they can scrap for the lead amongst themselves, and then he might be the beneficiary of it. Lap cars are becoming an inescapable thing now for your leaders. Major Robinson and Benedict Murdo both side by side holding the leader up. But now it looks like they won't. Robinson slips up high. Benedict Murdo's going to give Sanford the bottom as well. Nice job for Murdo. He is racing really respectfully out there despite the damage that he has. And also Robinson, he's falling way off the pace too. Must be losing a cylinder or something on that 85 machine. Sakamoto and Hart go by. Meanwhile, for 5th place, it is a battle of the rookies. Lamas versus Buchholz to see who can potentially be the top rookie finisher. Buchholz has 5th at the line. Lamas has 6th. For 7th place, Joseph Strigley's taken that over the 2 PPR teammates, DeLello and Jordan. And then behind these guys, Scott Roush in his own little world in 10th. Lamas and Buchholz go by at the lap cars, but with 20 to go, Sanford looking pretty good. Issues for Anthony McClure in the 46. He's reporting a tire going down to his team. McClure was in 21st place last time by, and that's a sad way for McClure and his chances of a top 20 finish to go away. He got his first ever top 10 finish in the Daytona 250 last week, finishing 9th. But now, with this happening, he'll be back to rock bottom. Bishop is caught up to Sanford, and he's going to try yet again. They're grabbing the lead from him. Oh, but we got a lap car into the equation. It's Dylan Schwamberg in the 83, who was in that incident with Orman on the front stretch. Almost dead even at the line. Almost like what Fitzwater and Freeze did last week. They caught up to the 83. Sanford's going to get boxed in, and Bishop's going to say thank you very much, Swally. Let me go on by. And Sanford's going to lose out on 2 positions there. Sakamoto up to 2nd. And that puts her one step closer to getting the lead position for herself. I did see other lap cars in the distance. Saber Fox in the 78 and Neil Cook in the 71. Right now on the track battling for 32nd. Oh, but Bishop slipped up high right there. Oh, I almost thought they were going to go 3 wide in the dog leg. Now Bishop has the ultimate decision to make. He's not going to go to the inside. Sanford's going to do it instead. Look at this. A complete role reversal from the lap of 4. Now Sanford is going to trap Bishop up high behind a lap car. Bishop, oh, he's getting into the back of the 78 even. Man, oh man. Bishop better not stay tucked in behind that 78 for too long. Otherwise, those 2 JSR teammates are going to say bye-bye. Now Bishop is going to get under Fox and Cook. Any more lap cars ahead? No. We're not going to get to any for a while. But it is Womano Imano for the lead at Phoenix between Sanford and Sakamoto as we're closing in on 10 laps to go. Yoshiko Sakamoto's been studying Sanford's every move these last few laps. She's going to try and attack him here and attempt to go by him for the lead, although I don't think it's going to be successful. You see, the 16's going to use the power on the outside line and allow him to hold it for now. But this is smart driving by Sakamoto, just following the leader and observing his strong points and his weak points, and she'll try and get him when he's at a weak point, and she'll time her pass for the lead right. Bishop's looking on at these 2 ahead of him for 4th place. Hart, Lamas, and Buchholz are together, and it appears if their fuel can last for another 5 laps, their strategies by staying out onto that last yellow, it might turn out to be a great one here. Now for 7th place, Aaron Jordan has that position. 8th place, Joseph Strigley takes it. Scott Roush takes 9th, and DeLello's going to fall back to 10th as he's stuck behind Schwallenberg. That's your top 10 as we now officially have 5 to go. Here's Sakamoto peeking underneath Sanford again. And she just can't do it off of turn 4. She has to get to a point where she's got to get by him for the lead out of turn 2. It looks like that's where she's better. She draws even with the nose of that orange 16. Side by side evenly into turn 3. We're getting closer and closer down to the wire. You see that surge that Sanford gets on the outside. That's what Sakamoto was fearing the most. She definitely doesn't want that scenario to play out on the last lap. And I'm sure Bishop is getting more and more impatient watching this battle happen in front of him. He wants them to just get into each other and mess up. That way he can go on by. It's a pure woman-o Imano battle with now 2 laps to go. When they get to the line, Sanford still holds it. Sakamoto looking for any run she can. Bishop trying to get around on the outside of the 66. The top 3 under a blanket for this win in round number 2. Sakamoto getting more and more desperate. They come off a 4 towards the white flag. Any one of these 3 cars can win it. Sakamoto was the closest she's ever been. Down to the inside she goes. Can Bishop maybe split them and go 3 wide in the middle? Oh, we got people pulling off the pit road. Jacob Holtz in the 03. He must have run short on fuel. He's going to get right in the way of the leaders with 2 turns to go. Where will these leaders go? Sakamoto on the bottom. Sanford up top. He's going to go around the 03. And Charles Sanford, with the help of lap traffic, will take the round of Phoenix and win again in the Speed Racing Series. I do not believe my eyes. Charles Sanford was just able to dodge the 03 as he was getting off a pit road and was just able to beat his teammate of Sakamoto to the line. He denies her the opportunity to score back-to-back wins here at this track. Oh, and check this out. He's actually going to take a victory lap for good measure. Great piece of driving by Charles Sanford. Regardless, he had a strong car all afternoon, and it'll be his 8th career win here in the Speed Racing Series presented by Middle Road Energy. It only took him 2 races to get it done this season, the quickest that he has found victory lane. But I'm sure if I was in Yoshiko Sakamoto's shoes, I would be mega disappointed with how that finish turned out to be, because that was nothing but pure interference on Buchholz's part. I don't understand why he didn't just stay below the apron of the track and let the leaders sail around him on the outside instead of merging onto the track directly in front of them. But nonetheless, however you want to look at it, Charles Sanford don't care. He'll owe Jacob Buchholz after today, as he'll be the one that'll get to spray the champagne and celebrate with his team on scoring another victory. Let's have a look at a replay and break down that finish. So this whole thing begins when Cody Lamas, who was running 5th at the time, pits to top off his fuel tank with 3 to go. And then behind him, more drivers do the same thing, like Dylan Young, Zayden Davidson, and Ryan Griffin. Their fuel tanks ran dry. They couldn't make it either. And then going forward, next time around, that's when Noah Hart and Jacob Buchholz and Aaron Jordan also pit. And there's Nick Breeding as well. So all these guys that stayed out for the lap 93 restart, who restarted in the top 6, their strategies did not pay off at all. They just didn't have enough fuel to go the whole hog. There goes Noah Hart and Jacob Buchholz pulling away. In the meantime, there's your 3 leaders racing around turns 1 and 2. And just bad timing this was. When Jacob Buchholz merged back up onto the track, the leaders were bearing right down on him. And I believe this was totally unsafe and very interfering among the leaders. See, he's completely blocking the 66. And Charles Sanford is the lucky guy who took advantage of it all. And he grabs the checkered flag instead of Sakamoto. Again, that's just so disappointing for Sakamoto, being that close to a 2nd straight win here at Phoenix. I bet you her team is feeling the angriest out of everybody right now, because they know they just got robbed thanks to the 03. And you just can't help but wonder how well this will sit with the SRS officials. They're going to have to do some deep investigating into how that final lap went down. And we'll just have to wait and see whether they clear Buchholz and his spotter of any wrongdoing, or if they're going to hand him down a penalty. Because he definitely could have played it smarter And if he would have just stayed out of the leader's way, they would have had more fair of a fight to the finish. As Sanford completes his victory lap, let's go over your top 10. Sanford, the winner here in the desert over Sakamoto in a JSR 1-2. RJ Bishop in his home race finishes third on the podium. Joseph Srigley completes fourth place. Scott Roush gets fifth, completing the top 5. Zachary DeLello in sixth, getting his first top 10 finish in 13 races. That's got to feel great for him. Luke Martin comes home in seventh. Zachary Fitzwater, your winner last week, eighth this week. And then ninth place for Lane Sanders, back-to-back top 10s for him. And 10th place is the 61 of James Ellison. Anyway, guys, that's all that there is left to talk about. We thank you very much for taking time out of your afternoons to watch this thrilling race here at Phoenix Raceway. Our West Coast swing continues as we will head to California Speedway for round number 3. Don't forget to follow our Discord for updates and subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't already. Here come your points and your race results following round number 2. And once again, congratulations to Charles Sanford as he collects his 8th career win today here at Phoenix.